It's a 50s flashback.
It just needs to be updated.
Watch this basement go from extra storage
It's a disaster.
to extra spectacular. It's all next on New Spaces.
I love it. It's beautiful.
When Detective Phil Greco and his wife Lisa bought this 4-bedroom Cape Cod, they planned to renovate the whole house and do a lot of the work themselves.
We bought the house in 1998. We're kind of gluttons for punishment, I guess. We love the creativity part of renovating and getting our hands in things.
The biggest reason I like to do it myself is the satisfaction after you're finished.
But even with the remodeling they've done upstairs, this family of 4 still needs more living space.
We really need an extra place for the children to go down and play, to do arts and crafts, and to store all the toys and the mess. The basement right now is full of junk and clutter. It's torn apart from the other remodeling that we've done up here.
We want to remodel the basement because it's a pretty large space down there. It just needs to be updated.
The whole thing needs to be done. Here's the space, Tim, that we were talking about.
Shuffleboard.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive.
That's impressive. If that doesn't say 1950s, I don't know what does. We might be impressed, but Lisa sure isn't. She's not feeling nostalgic about the shuffleboard court and speckled floor.
It's not only just the looks, but it's the function of it. It's very cold and hard.
The handyman in Phil knows this tongue-and-groove paneling was trendy in its day. He's even hoping that just maybe he can keep it.
It's 3/4-inch pine, and it'll be a shame to get rid of it.
You gonna hang on to it?
I'd like to, but...
No.
Phil and Lisa do agree that before they do anything, they need to clear this basement out and let some light in.
Now, I counted 1, 2, and there's a window behind here.
Behind the storage, yes.
Behind the storage. Can I move this?
Definitely, please.
Okay, there you go, Phil.
We'd like to be able to make use of all 3 of the windows, get some more natural light in here, brighten it up.
That'd be a good thing.
A not-so-good thing? The acoustic ceiling tiles. With some tiles missing, the whole room looks unfinished.
Now, I noticed that your ceiling has some, shall we say, openings?
Yes. We did some major remodeling on the upper levels, and they had to access things through the ceiling in the basement, so we have many openings.
Openings, which I'm sure will be addressed.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Everything down here needs updating, from top to bottom.
One final game before all this gets torn out of here.
Absolutely, you're on.
Let the games begin. All right. Oh, you. Oh. Oh, cruel fate, why'd you mock me? All right, count them up. What's the score?
I don't know how to do.
Phil tackled most of the house himself, but when it comes to the basement, he and Lisa turn to a pro, designer Lisa Ablin. Lisa's got some innovative ideas to turn this cold basement into a comfy family room.
You have a lot of space, and we'll be able to do a lot of things in here. This will be the entertainment area here, and I want to put a new plasma screen here.
That's good.
In the front of the house, we'll do a direct vent fireplace, some new tile, and some niches for bookshelves and picture frames.
It sounds cozy.
I think it'll be really nice. And then we'll have the sofa on this wall and a nice recliner for you.
Recliner and plasma, that's all we need.
Here's what else Lisa thinks. The fireplace and book nooks will line the front of the house, becoming the main focus of the multi-purpose room. One soffit will border the room. Another will accent a crafts area. A half wall with a stone craft counter will give the kids space for projects and hide toys. As for the ceiling,
Okay, the ceiling is a whole nother story. We've got a challenge here. This is a concept sketch of what I'd like to do with the ceiling. And you can see here, I would like to put a soffit around the perimeter of the room, and then inset do our ceiling tiles. Let me show you what I'm thinking about. This is a type of tile that we could use. And it would look something like this.
I love it.
Lisa has big plans for the speckled tile, too.
Well, we have to address this floor. Not only is it cold, but it's pretty ugly and dated. What we're gonna do is heat it up with a radiant floor.
That's going to be wonderful.
And unfortunately, we have to cover up the shuffleboard, which I'm sorry to say, but it's gotta go. Let me show you this tile. And I think this is really beautiful. It looks like a real piece of stone. There's the dropping stone. It's gonna be just all updated and beautiful and bright and shiny.
I can't wait.
Coming up, Detective Greco breaks an entrance and uncovers some clues to the past.
It's pretty neat, though.
Phil and Lisa's basement has seen better days.
The current state of the basement is very retro 50s, but not in a good way.
It's old, and it's just not very inviting. It's not very warm.
Today, Phil's clearing out the basement so builders can get in and get to work. First to go, the dated acoustic tiles.
I don't like the drop ceiling. When you think of a drop ceiling, you think of the old, ugly, industrial, commercial, office building type drop ceiling.
The worst thing about getting back into the construction phase is definitely the dust and the dirt and feeling disorganized.
After 2 hours, the ceiling's gone, and Detective Phil cleans up the scene of the crime.
I think Phil is doing some of the demolition himself to feel that he's a part of the project.
I'm a hands-on guy. Doing the demolition myself definitely saves some money, because time is money, of course.
Phil leaves the rest of this project to the contractor. The crew tears out more dated evidence, the tongue and groove paneling.
I would prefer to save it, but Lisa wants a right in the garbage.
The writing's on the wall for the paneling, but it's the writing behind the paneling that gives a clue into this basement's past.
Well, it's pretty interesting. The last name there is Wittenberg. That's who we actually bought the house from. Most of my dealings when we bought the house were with Donald, the son. Based on their ages and the years that they were born, it looks like they wrote this in 1952. It's pretty neat. You know, you start seeing with some of the walls missing, and you kind of can visualize a little better of what we're going to be doing down here.
With a budget of $36,000, this whole project should take 12 weeks.
Hopefully we'll be having a party down here for my son's birthday in July. We're playing it by ear, but so far so good.
With demo right on track, Phil and Lisa go shopping for flooring. They know they want radiant floors.
Hey, I'm Lisa.
Hi, Lisa. Hi, I'm Phil.
Hi, Phil.
We're trying to
What they
gather
didn't
some
know
information
is how many
on
types there are.
radiant floor heating system.
Consultant Russ Dunn clues them in.
Options, right this way.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, Lisa and Phil, here's what I have to show you today in the way of electric radiant floor heating to heat your floor. The first type of system on the market is what's known as a mat, and it's a cable that's attached to a webbing that can be cut and manipulated to fit your floor space. Very user-friendly to install, and it's typically designed for use with ceramic tile, marble, and stone. The second type of system is underlayment pad that provides some insulation and some sound insulation as well. And these mats can simply be fit into your floor space, but they're not as flexible as the type of mat that can be cut. And there's a third type of system that I don't have on the table, but it's simply a heating cable, not mounted on a pad or a mat, not mounted on a webbing, but simply routed back and forth between plastic strips that the manufacturer provides that you nail down into the floor. Those are typically more expensive to install, but the upfront material cost may be less.
Are there any issues with, we have a small child and a dog, with burning, getting too hot?
No, the floors don't get that hot. Plus, we'll provide a thermostat control for you, and you set the temperature where you want it and not to exceed certain temperatures if you feel it's too warm.
And these thermostats work They're similar to like a thermostat you would control your regular heat with, correct?
Very, very similarly, with the exception that your regular thermostat, you're measuring the air temperature. With this thermostat, you're measuring the floor temperature with this sensor that goes down the wall and underneath the floor.
Sounds warm and cozy no matter what you do.
Coming up, construction starts with a bang.
The baby doesn't take any naps anymore, but you know, we'll all get through it.
And this family makes their mark.
We thought it would be fun to put our own time capsule over here.
Phil and Lisa Greco smashed their 50s basement right into the ground. Now it's time to rebuild for the future. The whole basement is roughed out, and the space is ready for drywalling.
The baby doesn't take any naps anymore, but you know, we'll all get through it.
A new gas fireplace will not only warm up this cold basement, but it'll be a focal point in the room.
Oh, this is gonna look so pretty when it's done. Ooh, the fireplace too.
Handyman Phil is staying busy with projects outside while the guys do the job inside. But he's definitely been keeping an eye on the progress.
He comes down every day and checks everything out and does a little tweaking here and there.
I come home and the drywall's up and the insulation's in and the electrician's working and everybody's doing their own thing and I don't have to worry about it.
Another thing the Grecos don't want to worry about is flooding. A plumbing upgrade and 2 new high-tech sump pumps will protect their underground investment.
Easy to get to if you wanted to change them, but not out in the way, taking up space.
We're replacing the existing electric sump pump, but in addition to that, we're adding a battery backup sump pump system.
In this particular pump, the switch activates just below the top of the pump, so we're in good shape. We're a good 4 inches higher.
The pump has 2 big 12-volt batteries. That'll actually run the pump continuously for 14 hours. So intermittently, if it was cycling for a minute every 10 minutes, you could get 140 hours of backup protection out of the system.
It's insurance of sorts. The whole system costs about as much as carpet replacement alone. Before every wall is insulated and drywalled, the Grecos want to be sure to leave their mark on this project.
We thought it would be fun to put our own time capsule over here, and we're going to sign the wall. And the next people, when they decide to remodel, they can see ours too.
It's 8 weeks into construction, and the drop ceiling support grid is going up.
There was so much in the ceiling with vents and electrical and vents for the upper floors that we really couldn't drywall it in. There was that would be a disaster in case you ever needed to fix anything.
Instead of commercial acoustic tile, builders install a stylish plaster tile that matches the clean, classic lines found throughout the rest of the house.
You can paint them any color that you want, and they're nice and thick, and they offer good sound barriers from upstairs.
Now, to warm up the cold basement floors. Plastic tracking is laid down first. Then, heating coils are snaked across the floor and clipped in place.
We're doing radiant floor heat, which I'm very excited about because we're going to be tiling the floor, so I believe it'll be more warm in the winter.
This system costs $1,600, about 5% of the Greco's budget. A 20 by 20 inch porcelain tile with 4-inch copper inserts will finish off the room.
It almost looks like stone, like natural stone, which is kind of what I wanted it to look like.
Let's put a coat of Manchester tan on all the dry tissue paper.
With the floor and ceiling done, custom painters are ready to apply a full finish that'll add texture to the room.
We're applying tissue paper to the walls, actual tissue paper that you would receive in a gift. So we're tearing the edges, crinkling the paper, and applying it to the wall with wallpaper paste.
I love the texture, but I was a little concerned about the darkness. But she was able to bring in all the colors of the tile, and it just warms it up without being too cave-like. I think it's beautiful, and I think it's one of the things that's going to really tie everything together.
6 days later, Phil's favorite part of the remodel arrives. Along with the plasma TV, new stereo equipment rounds out the entertainment area.
It looks very neat, which was one of the things I wanted. I didn't want to see the components. The speakers that are in the back of the room are recessed into the soffit, which is great. We weren't able to do that in the front, but I think we made the best of it with choosing the bronze color, which goes with everything.
Another element that goes with everything is the stone for the craft counter and mantle.
It's a zodiac stone, which is better than granite for certain things. It never needs polishing. It is natural stone, but it's been broken apart and put back together. The reason I chose it for the craft area is that if we're going to be painting, it won't show. You'll never see it. And it's the same price as granite.
By week 12, the major work is done. All that's left now? Furniture and finishes.
The color choices were right on. Everything coordinates beautifully. I think that entertainment-wise, we chose enough seating space, and I think it will work well for our family. It's a good feeling to finally see everything coming together, and that it's coming to an end soon, and that we'll actually be able to use this space.
Coming up, a celebration in the brand new basement. That's next on New Spaces. It took 12 weeks and $41,000, but the Greco's basement is finally finished.
We're done on time. From the paint to the ceiling to the fireplace to the home theater, everything worked out great.
It's always a little bit of an invasion when you do some remodeling. I'm definitely relieved that it's all done.
Before, the dated basement was filled with clutter. Now, the junk is gone, the 50s are history, and the Grecos have a cozy new living space.
This is it. Wow, a little different, huh?
Looks great.
It does.
It is the same basement, just so you know.
I'm a little disappointed. The shuffleboard is gone, because I think I recall beating you in shuffleboard.
Ooh, I hope they have that on film.
I do love what you've put in place of it, though, this beautiful tile.
Oh yeah, definitely. This ceramic tile with a nice little copper insert. But the best part about it is we have a thermostat here. Turn it up, heat up the floor. Oh. Even if you're walking barefoot on the tile, it's nice and warm for you.
You gotta love that.
Oh, it's wonderful. Having the kids come down here and play with their toys, do their art projects. It's exactly what we wanted this space to be.
But it's not just the radiant floor that's warming up this space.
You have this beautiful fireplace.
It turned out just beautifully. We think that the mosaic really pulls out all the colors in the room. Quite happy.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And it goes well with the wall that you can now see.
Yeah, no boxes. They're actually put away.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, we love the sconces, the light treatments. We think those really turned out quite nice. And then the faux finish on the walls. They did the tissue paper with the several colors over. It really warms the space up for being a lower level.
A little better than that 3/4-inch pine that we had going from 1952.
And speaking of better, you've lost the dilapidated ceiling style and gone with acoustic tile. Yeah.
It is, but not your normal acoustic tile, I would say.
Yeah, it's not your typical office commercial ceiling tile. It's unbelievable the difference it made.
Yeah.
Such a finished look.
Mm-hmm. To match everything else. Mm-hmm. Nice furniture choice. The designer did a nice job. How much of this did you actually choose yourself?
We did it together.
You did it together.
The designer and I.
Any say in that?
There's my say right there. Go ahead, have a seat.
Can I?
Let me show you how it works.
Oh, I think I know how it works.
Here, you forgot this.
Oh, of course.
Come on, make yourself comfortable.
Now I'm complete. So this is where you are most of the time.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm always working.
Sure you are.
This space doesn't only look great, it's a lot more functional. Before, Jenna did her art projects at the kitchen table. Now she has a place to call her own.
Well, I love this addition. You got a nice workstation for the kids?
Yes.
It's great.
Our daughter loves it. She comes down here and does her little art projects. She gets to organize all of her things and herself. She considers this hers.
Does she? Mm-hmm. Of course. She's got to take ownership of that.
She even likes doing her homework down here.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wow. And you got drawers here for any clutter that you can get rid of that.
And speaking of clutter or lack of, we're really happy with this closet. It holds so much. I mean, we still have even extra room, so we're really happy with that.
Like that.
Also, that's where our time capsule is. Remember, they had the time capsule on the wall back there, and we put ours behind
You
that
have
wall.
yours back there for the next remodel.
The next
Which
owners.
probably won't be for a while.
No.
If ever.
What's your favorite part of the whole thing?
Definitely the home theater.
Yeah.
Just come down here and put a movie on and just relax. It's great.
Oh, I bet.
Jenna is happiest with her little craft center, and I'm happy with all those finishing touches that tie everything together.
The Greco's project not only finished on schedule, but the journey was relatively painless.
Projects I've done in the past haven't gone as smoothly. It was a lot less stressful for us as a family, letting go and letting someone else do things and take care of them.
It was pretty difficult for me to let somebody else come in and do the work. I definitely like to do the work myself. Then when you watch people do the work and see how it's really supposed to be done, then you realize how much or how little you know.
But the best thing about this basement, it's the perfect place for a party.
We probably had 50 or 60 people at Eddie's first birthday party. It was nice to get people downstairs. The kids were running around in Jenna's little play area, and they weren't tripping over boxes that were laying around on the floor.
That was the big goal, to use it for the family get-together. There isn't anything that I would change. I love my new space.